We are on a pathway to throw 15 million Americans off of Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act. 15 million. I hope that anybody here who is thinking of voting for this reconsiders, goes back home and talks to their constituents and asks them what it will mean if their health care premiums are doubled or tripled.
And Senator Bernie Sanders is among the Democratic caucus members blasting lawmakers for voting to break a filibuster on reopening the government. New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik is the House Republican Leadership Chair. She joins us here. First, let's talk about this before we talk about your next thing, your next conquest that you're attempting. So this is Seth Moulton on Chuck Schumer's ouster. If we can pull that up here, I think we have it. Said if Chuck were an effective leader, he would have united his caucus to vote no tonight and hold the line on health care. Ro Khanna, the congressman from California, said Schumer is no longer effective and should be replaced. If you can't lead the fight to stop health care premiums from skyrocketing for Americans, what will you fight for? So the Democrats now, at the end of this, are going to fight amongst themselves.
Well, first of all, Chuck Schumer owns this government shutdown. This is Schumer's shutdown. At every opportunity he voted not to reopen the government, he has done so over 14 times. And the reality is this is the same bill that he voted in support of 11 times when Joe Biden was president. House Republicans voted to fund the government, and this is a real issue that impacts people, Dana. I talk to my constituents, whether it's LIHEAP, which is very important for home heating bills, whether it's our air traffic controllers. You see these delays at airports all across the country. We need to reopen the government, and the fact that Democrats are doubling down to leverage the American people, it's a disgrace. We will continue to work on a bipartisan basis to serve the American people, open the government, and lower health care costs.
Okay, let's talk about how you're going to get this done. We had a big vote here in New York City last week. Freezing a number of rents, that's the idea. The taxes has to go through Albany, as you well know. And the free buses, well, here's the governor in Puerto Rico breaking with our new mayor already. She said, I cannot set forth a plan right now that takes money out of a system that relies on the fares of the buses and the subways. But can we find a path to make it more affordable for people who need help? Of course we can. What's going to come to pass, do you think, right now?
What will come to pass is Kathy Hochul will bend the knee to Mamdani. She did that in the primary. She didn't have to. When New Yorkers were looking for strength, she endorsed him. There is not a single issue over the course of the campaign that she condemned, whether it was calls for tax hikes, whether it was defund the police, or some of his anti-Semitic comments. And the reality is, Mamdani was correct to identify affordability as the top issue, but it's single-party Democrat rule, and it has been that way for 2 decades, Bill. The highest taxes in the nation, the highest utility prices. People are suffering, and it's forcing people to leave New York State and New York City. I'm focused on making New York more affordable. How do we do that? We cut taxes. Kathy Hochul, who has a record of raising taxes and says, oh, she's going to negotiate with Mamdani, I'm the only candidate who's going to cut taxes. We also need to unleash energy independence, allow fracking to lower energy costs and lower energy and utility bills. There's going to be a lot of discussion about this over the next year, but I believe Kathy Hochul ultimately will bend the knee and raise taxes. And if she punts it for a year, like she did with the congestion pricing commuter tax, voters are smart. They know that she lies to them to try to get elected.
So Mamdani had quite a splash, right? And so he's now going to be the mayor of New York City. You would like to challenge him, meaning his policies and his ideas and the movement that he has. Politico wrote this, that Stefanik's run for New York governor could be a gift to Democrats, saying that Trump's support is easy fodder for Democrats in a state where GOP have a vast enrollment disadvantage and a GOP candidate hasn't won statewide since 2002. What do you think would make your race different?
Well, first of all, I have a record in my district. As you remember, Dana, when I ran over 10 years ago, no one thought I could win. No one thought I could flip the district. I won Republicans, independents, and a coalition of Democrats. If you look at Mamdani's election, he barely broke 50%. Traditionally, the Democrat nominee in New York City mayor's races gets in the high 60s or 70s. So that means that nearly a majority of New Yorkers want a different approach. They want to check on Mamdani, and Hochul has not provided that. I would also point out this is going to be based upon voter turnout. President Trump won nearly 3.6 million votes in New York State. Kathy Hochul only won 3.1 million. And while she beat Lee Zeldin by a very small 6 percentage points, we excel at turning out those voters. And we're going to energize them to turn them out this election cycle.
So Governor Pataki was the last Republican governor here in the Empire State.
He was, and I'm proud to earn his endorsement. He is a good friend, and he knows the path to victory.
Noted. Left office in 2007. Number 7, guys, put it up. Here is Trump against Kamala Harris. You're right, 3.6 million roughly. But she still was an easy winner by 13 points. Do you run with Donald Trump as a partner, or do you run without him?
So I run as Elise Stefanik versus Kathy Hochul. Kathy Hochul is going to try to make this about Donald Trump. This is about Kathy Hochul's failed record. She is an accidental governor. She is only in this position because she was Andrew Cuomo's lieutenant governor, who then had to step up when Cuomo was pushed out. She faces a primary herself. Her own hand-picked lieutenant governor is primarying her. I am running on my record of results. Of course I will work with President Trump. New Yorkers know that. But the polling already shows, Bill, despite the fact that New Yorkers know that I'm a strong ally of President Trump, I'm polling within single digits and in some polls ahead of Kathy Hochul. So we can win this race. And that's because traditional Democrats and independents know that under Mamdani and Hochul, the Democrat Party has been embraced by socialists. They have been taken over. So we're winning traditional Democrats. And I will tell you, Kathy Hochul's top bundlers, top supporters are supporting me. And that will come out at the end of this year's fundraising filings.
Well, it's going to be one to watch, and we hope you come back. And,
you know what I'm looking forward to?
What's that?
The debate.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, too.
I'm looking forward to it.
The invitation for Governor Hochul to join us anytime. We got a seat for her as well, so we hope that happens.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.